the overlap in people who like RimWorld and Product Zomboid is weirdly high. Like, they're both cool games, they're both excellent games, but other than they're unforgiving, they really don't have a lot in common. Wonder if we could weaponize it against AI by streaming gibberish. Well, that's the thing. You could poison the data. But for those who missed what we're doing in this run, we have grabbed, there's a mod that is called the Ruthless Faction Pursuit right here. And for the most part, almost all those mods are like music and stuff like that. But there's like one or two that change things, but there's nothing big. But the Ruthless Faction Pursuit, as you can see from this god-awful stuff on the right, is in 2 days. This faction is going to endlessly send enemies at me until I die. You cannot hold that off. If you've ever played Odyssey and you've done the Odyssey start where the mechs chase you, same idea, but anyone listed here as hostile, which they all started at maximum hostile, will come after me. At this point, we've got one neutral, and then that's a quest one, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, there'll be people doing data poisoning and all that, which, you know, hey, do it. If they're going to just take your data, the fact that your data is good, bad, or otherwise, that's for them to do. We have a saying in machine learning, crap in, crap out. Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do, is we're gonna have to, like, pack it in and leave. So we were bringing Squid in. They're not gonna be ready to get out of here. We have just brought Will on. We got Will converted the other stream. We're waiting on Sentient Cookie to get converted. Oh, quests are not settled in the world, right? Quest tribes are not settled in the word. Quest tribes. Oh, yeah, sorry, yes. Quests will generate a brand... Sorry. Quests that are not for one of the existing factions will create a brand new faction temporarily, and then when you conclude the quest, it'll delete that faction. So those ones will all be neutral, because that's... Otherwise, you'd start a quest that people would show up and attack you, even though you're supposed to be saving them or whatever. So we're down to 2 days, so we need to get out of here relatively soon. So for that, I've got a bunch of alpaca that we're going to haul stuff up. And the problem we ran into is we had a double cold snap, like overlapping cold snaps, not two back-to-back cold snaps. So we're actually very short on food right now. But what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to uninstall all this stuff because we need to leave. We're going to uninstall everything because what's going to end up happening here is I got 2 days to pack it in and be gone. If I'm still here when that happens, bad things. Both RimWorld and Product Zomboids have the build your own story players. Yeah, there's the build your own story, like, slash storytelling situation. RimWorld is far more overt build your own story, whereas Product Zomboid is more things. How do you move out? You got animals to carry stuff? Yeah, I got a whole bunch of alpaca. How much time before a new invasion on next map? So there's an RNG to it, where it's got a range that can happen. I want to say it's like 15 to 30 days for it to trigger that someone's coming, and that's each one of these groups have their own trigger time. So you have like 1 or 2 who will show up way earlier, and then each of these will decide somewhere between, I think I've seen 20 days on the long side and 2 days on the short side. How many tiles away? Oh, I can just go 1 tile over. Like, I don't have to go anything. I just need to not be here anymore. So what I'm doing is I'm having Hypno run around and grab all the berries they can. And then we need to get out of here before that gets down to nothing. Got it. So you can fight the first if there are a few to leave. Yeah, so what happens is, we're not gonna do that right now because the refugees will be stuck in tile. What happens is when you, why did they all get roped up in the caravan thing? I haven't caravaned them off the tile. Oh, it's because I got rid of the pen marker. Okay, so that's gonna have to do. World map. Can you rotate between 4 tiles? No. In RimWorld, once you leave a tile and you abandon it, it is dead. You can never come back. The tile is forever forsaken. So we're going to grab all of our animals and all of our stuff. We're going to tell it to not give us what we need minimum. Grab everything. Grab all of the stuff that has any value whatsoever. Not the brick. Brick is just heavy. Honestly, let's throw the wood on there. We did die. When the game crashed, the world state got rolled back several hours, and we were in the stairwell, and that group of like 100 zombies at the top of the stairwell got reset to existing there, so we were sandwiched between two big groups. I tried to bully my way through, but there was nothing there, so we basically died to a crash. You know it's unpopular, but there's a way to know whether the setting is on or off with other than asking, unless the streamer states in their title, maybe in their rules. No, so there's nothing you can see like in the settings to show whether or not it's there from your end as the viewer, unfortunately. What's the ideal? What's the carry? What to leave behind? So right now I have the carry capacity for everything, so I can just take everything. But it can very easily run into a situation where we don't have much, so it'd be like grab some more crafting benches and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so that was a bummer. And for like the record, I'm not like super upset or being like, "Oh, stupid Project Zomboid." Like genuinely dying in Project Zomboid doesn't bother me. I've played games that are like hardcore death games for pretty much ever. Some of the things that people are doing is they're starting to have different tags go around. I'll probably consolidate to one. So like I added the opt-out Gen AI tag to the stream. There's like another one that's like opted out Gen AI. And we're kind of waiting to see what it is. Alright, so we're leaving the plasteel behind. That's actually... What are you doing right now? Let's see. No way to see unless there's like... On the PC, there's a no AI? Yeah, I'll do that one as well. But yeah, so people are trying a whole bunch of things to try and communicate, being like, hey, I'm not using the Gen AI. So I'm not too fussed about leaving a couple alpaca behind. Worst case, I could run back over here, maybe. Oh, no, I won't, because I'll have to abandon it first. It's fine. Oh, I can't abandon it because there's still stuff on it. Alright, so we'll just have to go one more farther. Tags are not shown in IRC, but at least it's a start, until Twitch has more info. But after Zomboid, we died to a crash. Like a game crash. The Gen AI thing looks at chat? Yes, it does. It was just the game. Yo, sorry. Yeah, so the Gen AI thing looks at chat, it looks at the stream title, it looks at a bunch of things. We have it turned off. Alright, so let's see here how I want to approach this. Because we can send someone back to grab the last of the llamas. Not llamas, alpacas. A pretty good spot up there. Sorry about that. I'm going to set you to do rice. Alright. It says so in the FAQ. Yeah. Alright, so get that started. And for the moment, just dumping stockpile right here. For low, allow all except rotten and no human corpses. So if we look at our workers here, Will should be the one to go back. Alright, so what we're going to do here is form caravan, go here, except I'm not allowed to do anyone else? That's fine. Yeah, so this person's eventually going to try and break for it. I need our people to build that. Alright. Yeah, the big thing is just kind of be gentle with people. It's new information going out. Like, yeah, it sucks. But also, you know, don't be the one who's like making things worse for creators who don't really have a say in any of this. Alright, so you get out of here, Will. I want to see if you can get over there, grab the llamas, and get back. Because like I said, the big thing is like, creators once they're aware, I can't think, like, I have not heard a single one that's like, oh no, I'm gonna leave that on. Or like, oh, I don't care, or anything like that. Every single one of them, they've turned it off absolutely immediately. So like, just, it's okay to be like, hey, did you know? Or kind of feel out if they know, like, go and see what their tags are, see if they've already addressed it. Just because, like I said, we've seen some people who are being kind of jerks about it and giving like ultimatums, being like, if you ever want to see me again, you're gonna turn it off. It's like, well, it's off already, man. Like, it's already off. You're just threatening me because I'm doing what you want already. Yeah, no, and if you lurk, it won't feed anything off of you because you're not chatting. So if you're ever not sure, that could be entirely what you do, is you just sit in chat and then like wait to see. Alright, so here we got 23 hours, so we're gonna immediately grab you and form caravan to go back, except grab the last of the llamas and you and the plasteel. So get in here, grab it, and go. But yeah, that's one of the things. Like I said, I have it turned off. Prisoners escaping. So problem is I have nowhere to put them. So they might just get away. No, but to keep in mind, like I said before, a lot of the people at Twitch, the developers, the rank and file, they are your friends. The fact that we got an opt-out was almost certainly because a bunch of people at Twitch, like so far as, again, the developers, the rank and file, that whole bit, probably threw an absolute fit about it and really kind of pushed for it to have an opt-out option. Well, so Squid's gonna get away because I wasn't able to build a prison cell fast enough. That's fine. I believe I'll still get the credit for it. No. Apparently, if I don't actually release them. You really need to be leaving, Will. What are you doing? So Will's gonna go ahead and pop through here. In that case, let's go ahead and we'll keep this going. All right. So what I'm trying to do right now is very quickly start framing this all out. Oh, I need to also go miss caravanning hitch. Because we don't get the caravanning spot set up, then our alpaca will just leave. I made these rooms way too big this time. But I'm not going to change it because there's no reason to. Alright. So, and this can be our production room. That could be our break room. And this could be our storage room. Gonna let them work on that in the meantime. You got that all sorted out. Okay, so with that, grab your stove. Research bench. Research bench. Put you down here. I'm gonna decide where I'm putting the pen marker for you. There. That'll be the pen. Did I not grab the table, or did you already hold that up? Oh, right, and then we're gonna go here. Zones, our normal stockpile. Alright, so this is gonna take a while for them to get that all done. We can also go over here when we have people with time to spare. Get that done. You can delete that. There's our dumping stockpile where we allow all, except rotten and human-like. Okay. And I've deliberately let the other tile open because people asked me to do that last time, and I kept forgetting because it's like, oh, abandon, move on. So we can see the raid show up and see how nasty it gets. We'll eventually have to go and just pull it down because it's just gonna... Did you ever play Prison Architect? Yes, I played a ton of it back, you know, for a good long while. Sadly, it hasn't had any updates, nor is it expected to have any updates ever again. They were working on a sequel, and then I had someone the other day say that, like, the sequel, that they've got some update or something coming for it, which I find interesting. Because I was under the impression that the sequel was permanently on, like, permanent hiatus. Like, would not be completed kind of thing. And we also need to go to crafting spot and butcher spot. Now, with this run, we're also running the semi-random research mod. What that means is I don't have control of my research. we get what we get, good, bad, or otherwise, which is pretty painful a lot of the time. So there's going to be a lot of times where you get research it's like, that's not useful to you. Correct. It makes the early game last a bit longer, which is kind of the idea. Okay, so we do have some berries and some meals there. There's hoop ring. We can chuck that down there. How are you doing over there? Incoming. So it should be rated anytime. I'm wondering if they'll... I'm going to claim parts of this wall and see if they'll let the Ancient Danger out. So this will be the first wave. Yeah, so they showed up with machine guns. So to give you an idea, we got 3 people with 1 gun, and they showed up with 8 people. If we look at their weapons, they brought 3 assault rifles, a Hellcat, a machine gun, a couple of pistols, and an SMG and a club. I'm hoping I can get them to attack this. And just... Yeah, so they just blew their, they just blew their stuff there. Because they started a fire. They're starting to go out to the Ancient Danger. They're satisfied with their damage and they're leaving. But they should come back. That's fine. Okay. And then we'd have another group of attacks. So they should be attacking every 12 hours. What's a little interesting is that they keep collapsing this. They would eventually make this fall in the cryopods and do this. Open. We'll just leave it over there doing its thing for a minute. If it starts to slow down, the game will get rid of it. Which is the reason I was getting rid of it each time as we moved around anyways before. Is eventually the amount of junk on that tile will cause issues. Alright. Yep, so if we go there, that same faction who just was like, I'm satisfied with the damage and then left, they've come back again. And this time, dear goodness, this time they brought 34 people with 3 flamethrowers, 2 chain shotguns, a whole bunch of pistols, a bunch of melee, an assault rifle, 3 Hellcats, 3 machine guns, shotguns. Basically, they brought everything. So when I say we can't stand and fight, we have to run, that's why. Hellcats are an anomaly thing. It's basically a assault rifle that has a flamethrower on the bottom of it. Okay, they're sending another wave. There's now 73 of them. And that's one faction. That's not even considering getting other factions involved. Do the raids fight each other? Some will. Yeah, I was gonna wait to let them destroy that, but they're only getting like one tile every once in a while. I wanted to get them to hit the ancient cryopods, but I can't. Yeah, I did claim this place, but I can't get them to attack the pods because the pods are neutral. Okay, they're raiding again. So now up to 80 of them. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and leave the tile because that's just gonna keep doing that. Nah, usually I don't. I had people ask, if you didn't build something close to the cryopods, well, that's the thing, they're gonna hit it. Eventually they would hit the walls and collapse it on the cryopods, but it's just gonna take so long for them to do that. So they're all enemies, they'll all keep showing up and killing each other, and then we can just Arco Nexus, right? Just literally standing back and just letting that war rage out over there. The problem is all the wealth that'll hit the ground there, threats that go to this colony that are off map, so like where it's like, oh no, the EMP thing is up, will be scaled by my highest wealth colony, which would be really bad. Oh, also, before I forget, do not build a roof here. The rest of that's all fine, but do not build a roof there. Alright, so we're working on trying to get everything set up as quickly as possible. Hypno's cutting down all the trees that were in where we're building the base so they can get the walls. That's why you Arco Nexus. Yeah, the problem with Arco Nexus is I have to be allied with whichever faction it tells me to. Sad Wander and Sentient Cookie because you got the munchies. Naw. That's a valid reason to have a Sad Wander. Sell Thunderdome for the map fragment. Sentient Cookie is right about to be converted. It is a shame we missed out on that prisoner we were working out, but, you know, crap happens. Major break risk, that's fine. Also, go here. And we'll need to get that all opened up for the alpaca and all that. Lost the second creepy joiner as well. Yes, got into a social fight and immediately, or no, what was it? There was a prison break, and then they got hit and they immediately went, you know, went hostile. So that was the one they had, is they had the thing where when they get hit by a friendly, they go hostile and site stealers show up. I actually don't need that door. But Cookie is right about to be converted. And yep, thought you had capture after that. No, they died in that fight. But yeah, all in all, we're going to keep this all going. There's a lot of updates coming out, like, not like in the next day or so, in the next couple of weeks. I've been getting, like, the... Well, you suck, Timberwolf. The event name? Yeah, the event name is Creepy Joiner. And you think you will copy the new bot message and reword it, if that's okay? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so Will's hauling stuff because there's nothing else for Will to do until the other stuff gets built. Hypno's running around, grabbing berries all over the map. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, that's right. Sentient Cookie was having a mood break, which is why like all the stuff stopped getting built for a minute. Right. I'll deal with that later. Right, we got refugees wanting to join, so we got a refugee has arrived. We don't know anything about them yet, so they are a Starjack who is a misogynist. No health problems. They could potentially be hostile, so we're going to make them drop their weapon. And they're going to go to this stuff. Okay, so you're going to do construction and research. That should help Cookie catch up. Alright. We're getting it all done little by little. We're going to build this out as fast as we can so I can get everything back up and running. It's kind of like the big thing this run is about, is basically we get bullied off a tile and we have to try and get our base back up as running as quickly as we can to get ourselves ready for the next push. And thank you, Broken Injax, for the Prime Gaming sub. You only get one of those a month and you used it here. And I do really appreciate that, so thank you so much for the Prime Gaming sub. A Mad Hare. We're all doomed. I've seen Monty Python. Okay. Yeah, so once this rice starts coming up... Yeah, this is also weird because I actually very seldomly use rice. Usually I just use rice to bootstrap up and then I use other stuff. But because of the constant moving around, it is just keep doing the rice again and again. Regardless of whether they're recruited, all creepy joiners will immediately become hostile the first time they get hit by a colonist attack. I hadn't run into that one. Maybe there's two different versions. Well, no, because I definitely have had creepy joiners where I've hit them in friendly fire and they were just fine. Huh. I wonder if there's things that can happen that can, like, disable it. Because otherwise the thing would be to, like, mess with their consciousness real bad and then give them a thwack. Burner Town. Okay, so Sentient Cookie's getting the last of that all sorted out. Okay. Cool, so with this we can lock these doors open. We can lock these doors open. When they go hostile, they proc the events. Yeah. No, I know when they go hostile, they'll do stuff like trigger the scream that brings in the things where it's like, oh, they're coming and all that stuff. Like, I'm aware of that. But, like, the creepy joiner's always going hostile on hit. That's news to me. Like, I know they can often do it. But I'm like, wondering if there's stuff I'm doing that is causing that to not be a concern. Okay, so we're getting our stove in place, getting all that stuff going. Yeah, Flesh Beast, attack, or Side Stealers. Yep. Are being attacked immediately by a guy with bow. Fast walker, fast learner, quick sleeper, but bad back. We can fix bad back. I'm willing to talk. I'm willing to talk about this. We can fix bad back with time. But fast walker, fast learner, quick sleeper, I'm willing to put up with that for a while. So is that attacks immediately, or are they going to prepare? They're going to attack immediately. So what we're going to try to do is, how good are you in melee? Are you respectable? Yeah, you're pretty decent. They're not going to fire at will. Everyone is going to beeline in here and start punching Cobra as much as possible. Yeah, okay, that's what I was going to say, is I was pretty sure there was a nothing. Because of the bad back, you should actually go down pretty easy. And you died. Well, we at least tried. Alright. You got food poisoning? Is that what's up? Yeah. We are eating berries. Yeah, extreme break risk on you because you're food poisoning. So once the intense pain drops, that'll help. And a bunch of the other ones will help because you won't be sleeping outside and all that. So hopefully you keep your stuff together long enough to go to sleep. Because then when you wake up in the morning, you should be in relatively good shape. Alright, research-wise, we've got electricity and solar panels. So we can actually call in the ship parts. The problem with the ship parts is while we can get the GravTech, until we can find a way to get chem fuel that doesn't depend on trade, we're kinda not gonna be able to move the ship around. Because that's how we're ultimately gonna deal with this, and we could probably tame the Boomalope. But once we get the ship moving around, we're probably gonna ditch the caravanning stuff. If we get lucky and we get, I forget what is the thing that slowly generates chem fuel. If we get that thing, that'd be fine. We're gonna have to deal with that timber wolf. Case in point. Alright, I don't want to do this. There's you can take the Boomalope on the ship? Yeah, no, I can. But to get the Boomalope to make enough fuel, it's going to be a little bit of work. Nicely done. You can carve yours in there? Yeah. No, we can. It's as well as things of like, how many Boomalop will I need to bring with me to make it worthwhile, is kind of the catch. Because I think like one Boomalop is not going to be remotely enough chem fuel. And do I want to keep half a dozen or so to try and keep the ship fueled? We'll see. If we can get the chem fuel refinery or any of those things, that'd be good. All right. We're getting close here. And once we get all that, we'd probably want to start putting like a wood floor down just to not have the negatives. But that's fine. We've got food coming in, like plenty of it. Actually, stop doing that. Switch you over to potatoes. Oh, you're still sleeping outside. That's great. It's fine. Okay. They're not sensitive to low pressure air, are they? Alright. Yeah, so let's keep this going. That's the thing, I was trying to think, if we did the grav ship, we do have enough alpaca. We could just, like, put it into storage and make the grav ship tech available and start bringing it with us. And it wouldn't be the worst thing ever. So, despite my better judgment, I'm going to go ahead and go to here and choose Mechanoid Single. Hey, Salford Sal! Thank you so much for the raid, I really appreciate it. I hope you had yourself a good stream and all that good stuff. So you can deal with that. Hope you had yourself a good stream. Can we get a shout out for Salford Sal, by the way? I hope you had fun with whatever you got going on over there. Clanfolk, yeah, Clanfolk is fun. I saw you playing that the other day. For those who don't know Clanfolk, it's very similar to RimWorld. A little bit more based on like having like your family units as opposed to individual pawns. But it's some cool stuff. So let's uninstall that and haul it away immediately, because otherwise bad things will happen. Alright. And again, check out Salford Sal. Plays a whole lot of games like Timberborn and Auction Not Included, Clanfolk, a bunch of these kind of games. So if you like those kind of games, Farthest Frontier, I believe, has been another one you played a bunch of. If you like any of those kind of games, they're all good. Salford Sal plays a bunch of them. Does leads like really grand projects, which can be really fun to watch. So definitely something to check out. Let's see. Fun in the morning, drive off in the car, find out while driving that the clutch doesn't want to come up again and just sits there in the lowest position, gear stuck at times. Imagine drive home, but not driving with all that all the way to work. Yeah. Yeah, I really need the Mega Sloth to not be in my farm. Yep. Good old Sal, home of the Pipwitch. Let's be right back. Thunder and lightning, very, very frightening. Me, Galileo Figaro. I gotta switch the tablet so you can turn the PC off. Gotcha. Magnifico. Alright, Surfy. You have a good one. I'm gonna manually tell you to open that so that Mega Sloth doesn't smash through my wall when it finds itself trapped. Alright, so just trying to get our structure set up here. For those who missed what we've got going on in this run, pretty much the setup here is that we are using a mod called Ruthless Faction Pursuit, where every enemy will come after us, such as like if you've ever played the Odyssey start. Same idea, but everybody who's hostile to us. And it started everybody hostile to us. We've got one we've worked to neutral, and then we've got two who are for quests, so they're always neutral. But it means we don't really have trade caravans and all that. We're trying to get all going. We also are using the semi-random research, so I don't fully have control of my research, so we're at the mercy of whatever the random research gives us, which has been relatively okay so far. But we are trying to work on getting people to be our friends so that they stop trying to murder us, and then also potentially working on getting our grav ship online, which is probably not going to happen for a while. We're trying to get Sentient Cookie converted, because if Sentient Cookie gets converted, that'll put us all in the same ideology, and I'll be able to get a moral guide, which will make converting more people in the future way easier. Okay. Cool, so we've got all that built. So now they're going to take these apart, and then they're going to start hauling all the stuff back, so we can get our Gravlight panels. We're not going to build any grav ship stuff right now. I don't have a way of making chem fuel, nor have we done the research. So it's just basically hauling it back, and then we will use our alpaca as our means to of caravanning stuff. Contract helpers. We would send 2 helpers for 2 seasons. So I'd be going back down to just 1 pawn. So that's not happening. Okay. That's a little annoying that I got this Mega Sloth running around in here. Should bugger off on its own and not super long. Okay. Yeah, so wait till you get all the Gravlight panels back, and then we're going to cut down more trees. And then we're probably going to put some floors in the break room here. So we get a little bit of a mood bonus for having a decent break room. Okay. And one thing we'll also need to do with these alpacas, at some point I'm going to have to start population controlling them. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to say only 2 adult males. Because otherwise the population is going to get wildly out of control. Alright, basic grav tech. Okay, that's solid. Alright, so we're getting grav tech immediately. Now keep in mind I can't make chem fuel, so we can't go. I think we will reluctantly bring... let's see. Oh, they have a chance. Okay. If we get Inspired Taming, we'll go and grab a Boomalope. But we're probably going to need to do more than that for the chem fuel stuff. Alright. Explosive travelers? Yeah. We'll see. I'm not ready to go and, like, manually tame them down. Let's go ahead and we can close this door. Because that'll get the Mega Sloth out of here. And it'll be a matter of trying to get the Mega Sloth out of here. Because at some point, if it can't find food, it'll smash a hole in the wall, and that's what it is. We'll want to get all that sorted. Meanwhile, we can go over here and say zone. Dump our home zoning a lot of this. Because once we can get the ship going, we at least won't have to like rebuild the base again and again everywhere we go. But that's going to be some doing still. Okay. Okay, never mind. All right, so for our path for research, we started out where we got, it was what? Carpet making? No, was that our last one? Our last one was carpet making. We got complex furniture. Complex furniture, tree sewing, stone cutting, which none of which were useful right away. Beer brewing, and then all the drug stuff here. And then we got electricity, and immediately after that it went solar panel, gravtech, biofuel processing. So we're probably not going to try and build the ship on this tile. I think what the intention's going to be is we get things ready for building the ship, we go to the next tile when we get bullied off, and immediately when we hit the tile, we're going to start building the ship. The game is telling you. We're going to want to go ahead and start grabbing steel and all that. We've been ignoring that because it's a bunch of carry weight. Okay, so we've got all that sorted. A trail offer for a gene pack that I won't be able to use. No, thank you. Okay, so what we can do here... So often, if you shoot near something, you can get it to leave. Oh, wait. Send your cookie. Go pop that door. Heck yeah. Excellent. Cool, so we got the Mega Sloth out of our area, so it won't break our walls and do all the other stuff. Cool, so what that means is we have one more time we're going to be caravanning with a whole bunch of junk. And once we get that sorted, we're going to a bunch of other things. Alright. But we stay on this tile for as long as we can get away with. Then we bring everything with us. Okay. So Sentient Cookie has one more conversation. Disease flu. Okay, Sentient Cookie, we are giving you the best medicine we've got. And my best doctor. Gonna take care of it. And then my second best doctor is gonna help you out. Then we need to tell them to harvest all the heal root because we're completely out. Alright. Now, for the hostile factions, there are alternate ways we can deal with this. So I have one option, and that one option is that we become friends with them. The other option is my understanding with this mod is that if I go to their main city, and I don't really know how you determine that, if we go to their main city and defeat them, they will stop attacking. So one way we could potentially work on that is you'll notice everybody hates each other. Everybody hates each other. So we can go and choose one of these factions and start systematically destroying them once we get ourselves set up enough that we can reasonably fight. Until we get everyone else to be neutral and just keep wiping them out. You know, and then we can go to the next one. But basically use defeating them as a means of keeping everyone happy with us. Medical treatment needed. Why are you not using the good medicine? You're still doing a 70% tend. Yeah, so tens are still being relatively good. It's fine. Hypno Butler is throwing a party. It's the flu party. For all the people with the flu. Because there ain't no party like a flu party. Okay. Yeah, so you're gonna need a lot of steel for the graph ship stuff. And you did not. Cookie has been converted to our guest's ideology. Did you really just reference what you think it did? Maybe. Thanks, game. We've been slowly chipping away at Sentient Cookie this whole time. And Tetsui just slipped in at the last second. Absolute last second. And converted them to something else. Alright, well, there's no more good medicine. It's bad medicine or no medicine. That's not a very good tend. Yeah, so Tetsuya is barely winning. Have you ever, though, maybe that... You ever thought that maybe the person who doesn't need their tongue anymore? What? What? Why would I be removing someone's tongue? Like, I know you could do that to prevent people from, like, insulting sprees and, like, you know, this person is misogynist and all that. And that's something you can absolutely do. If someone's awful, you can just cut their tongue out to prevent them from constantly causing drama. They'll get a permanent mood penalty for, you know, you stealing their voice. But at the same time, if all they have to say is awful things... Oh, prevents them from stealing the convert. Right, but if I go to a random refugee and I cut his tongue out with no reason, they'll go hostile on us immediately. Or basically, it won't go well. So, it is what it is. Well, let's be wasteful. We're not able to... We're not bringing it with us. So, like, cookie keep working thing. One large malice versus many small. Well, that's the thing. We're not even getting that many small malices. Oh, you mean, yeah, cutting their tongue out? Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, if this is a permanent colonist, we would be taking their... We could, like, potentially take their tongue and all that. I don't typically do that because usually I just won't take colonists that are like that. Yeah, we do actually have medicine up there. That's fine. Okay. Get those potatoes. But yeah, no, that'd be nice to not have to rip up and move everything every couple days. We'll be able to go to, like, grab ship stuff. Which more than likely we're doing a bit of a violent campaign. %, with some terrible medicine. Well done. 33% with terrible medicine. You want to do that on your last run? Creepy joiner with disturbing rambling and body master, so they never shut up. Yup. Yep, that happens. You'll have a pawn, they're like, oh, this is a really good pawn, except they have this one trait where they're just awful. And so then you cut their tongue out or whatever. What do you think you're doing? You still got the flu, friend. And you're losing to it on top of that. Okay, so we've got kind, pretty, greedy, violent. Or cannot violent. I will rescue you. Because in a minute, you're going to be some medical stuff. So unfortunately, it's not looking very good for, Tetsu here. But they're about 3% behind. So... Barring some really nice changes, not gonna go well. They don't have anything that affects their ability to immune system or anything like that. Yeah, so this wouldn't be a deal breaker of a person. It's not. I mean, it's pretty bad. I see pretty as a negative, greedy as a negative, no violence a negative. They are bringing doctoring, which isn't awful. But it is about the only thing they're bringing to the table. Hi.
Hello. Tell me something.
Something.
Oh.
I don't know. They're doing tomb taps.
I'm bringing signs. I'm Harry Polzak. I'm Polaria Star.
You guys like say something like what? Incoming mechanoids in 6 days.
Infinity Simplex.
And the random person joined us, who is awful.
Why are they awful?
Um,
I'm sorry, ecologist.
because they're a
Hi,
pet.
Leafy Pew. Hi, Nightweller.
And thank you for the Gigantify, Leafy. So they're incapable of violence.
Oh.
They're greedy.
Yeah.
They're pretty, and pretty's bad because everyone
What?
hits on them and then they reject them.
Hi, Nightweller. Hi, Marguerite. Because everyone hits on them?
Yeah, so everyone hits on them.
Yeah.
So they're constantly like, this person was rebuffed, this person's rebuffed, and they all get upset about it.
That's funny. You need to destroy that pretty person.
It's okay. They'll probably get disfigured at some point.
Yay! Disfigurement. Yuppies.
Love.
Bye, bye, y'alls. All y'alls.
Yep, so we are going to have that. I'm going to go ahead and put the naming queue in here. We'll keep this person. So if you want to be the kind, pretty, greedy, pacifist colonist, do !join, which is certainly going to end up being obnoxious as time goes on. Destroy the pretty person. Hey man, it's 4 thing. Alright, 20 days, that's fine. The mech is going to be showing up in 6. Major break risk on you because intense pain as it happens. Unjoin? $21. Alright, 21's the longest we've seen. We'll tell them they can harvest that early. Don't sow it. You might actually get to be pretty for once. Alright, so for those who missed, we are getting our biofuel refining. So we're going to go to the next tile, like we've been doing. We're going to start immediately slamming down the ship and trying our absolute best to get the ship built before anything kicks us off the tile. And Sylvain might be in a problem if they have a really bad mood break that keeps them from doing stuff. Alright. So let's go ahead and get our pretty pawn named, and it's going to be Leafy Pew. For the record, I'm not going to deliberately disfigure this pawn. Now, they might end up disfigured because RimWorld does that kind of thing, but we're not going to intentionally do that. Alright. Okay, so the poor traveler should leave soon. Oh, how is I haven't been watching your flu and all that. Your flu is almost certainly going to kill you at this point. And Sentient Cookie, on the other hand, is solidly in good shape. You get to be pretty for a day at least. We take the wins we get. I mean, you are 8 medical. Your manipulation's penalized, but not that penalized. So just don't kill sentient. Honestly, a 65% with herbal medicine, while injured nonetheless, I'm not unhappy with that. There's a very decent 10 there. Okay. We're playing with Cassie? Yeah, we're playing with Cassie. I don't imagine Cassie will affect the whole, like, incoming thing we've got going on here. But Cassie will affect, like, our normal raids and all that stuff. And we still have normal raids, it's just right now we're kind of moving between tiles pretty rapidly. So we only get to have, like, 1 or 2 raids before we have to leave again. So 3 desperate refugees. So in the meantime, we can actually accept the volcanic winter because they'll give us a masterwork nerve spiker. So I'm gonna grab that. And haul those back. Okay, so Leafy Pew is recovering. You're about to be cleared to the other side. And unfortunately, there is zero chance our guest is getting through this. So for no discernible reason, I'm going to go ahead and put a grave inside that bedroom. Don't worry about it, Tet. It's fine. You're going to pull through, I promise. Yeah, it's fine. Incoming in 6 days, that's fine. Medical treatment and sentient cookie, who's about to go immune anyways. Major break risk on Leafy Pew because serious pain, greedy for impressive room, unsightly environment. Dread leather parka, well just don't... You show up with dread leather and you're like, I hate dread leather. It's itchy. It makes me sad. That's like when you have the refugees and they show up and they're like, I'm super upset that I'm holding a melee weapon. You're like, well then don't bring it. Like, just don't. Or they walk in your tile and immediately slam a drug and they're like, I used a drug, it upsets me. It's like, well then why did you do it? You could have just not used it. And wait for it. Dead. Hey, we got our betrayal reward. Unintentional betrayal reward. Excellent. To be fair, it is a fantasy textile. Yes. It is certainly a fantasy textile of the skins of demonic entities, but you know, if I've learned anything from playing action RPGs, skinning a demon and making it into armor is like primo stuff. Like, itchiness aside, like it is just hands down good equipment. I'd really like you to get that research done, because not only do I need to build that on the other side, I've also got to get all loaded up. And you got the plant stuff and all that going on. Sentient Cookie is going to need to be given stuff for mining too. So good Monster Hunting 6 of that, and only that. Yeah, so we need to get Sentient Cookie mining to get components and steel and all that, so that way when we go to the next tile, like I said, we've got to try as best we can to build the grav ship as fast as possible, because we'll only have between like when we arrive on the tile and then the next wave of this to get it built and fueled. It doesn't have to be like fully fleshed out, but at least, you know, at least functional. 3 days. Okay, that cuts down our time a day. Okay. Yeah, so right now Cookie is... Alright, so you've got... It attacks immediately. They're bringing grenades and 2 guns. Is anyone kind of scary so far as they're shooting? So Fitz is the bigger threat so far as shooting. They're actually not utterly incompetent. I'm already busy with the thing. Give Will a hand here. Alright, there you go. So orders, allow, got a little bit of money and all that. Yeah, so you took one hit to the torso. And then Will got pretty bruised up, but just bruised up. Okay. So that's going to be inconvenient for us getting out of this tile in a timely manner. And not enclosed? Really, man? You walked up, you poked one little hole just enough so the alpaca wouldn't stay on there on their own? Kind of a jerk move, man. Alright, so we got some showing up in 2 days, unfortunately. So what we're gonna need to do is pretty soon we have to yoink up all of our benches and all that. And this one we might not be able to carry everything. We are bringing a lot with us. Go ahead and grab those components before we leave them. Because that'll be one of the things that can get us into trouble. Okay, so Leafy, you need pack animals? I got a bunch. I got 12 alpaca. We're just looking at grabbing a lot of stuff. Yeah, so once it gets below 2 days, we're going to try and march it off. Start hauling it all back. So it's all ready to rock and roll as soon as we can. Didn't realize alpaca are pack animals? Yeet. The pack animal, yes. They're actually relatively good on what they can carry. I think it's not as much as a muffalo, but then they also give you alpaca wool, which is really good. So it is the thing that like they have two pretty good uses for you there. All right. And we're gonna have another colony with greedy people, which is gonna be hard to manage on the grab ship, especially early. And the Krias are very cute. I like RimWorld because where else could you connect the words to form a sentence like, I got camel filth on your golden floored grab ship? Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of stuff that happens in RimWorld that, like, when you look at what's being said, like, what's going on, you're like, this is some unhinged. Alright, so unfortunately we are going to need to pack it in. So we're going to pack it in, and we need to get off this tile. And we need Will to not have a mood break here, because if Will has, like, days or one of the mood breaks that lasts a while, there is a very, very real chance that they will not get through their mood break before that all gets done. That's fine. Alright, so I think we got everything sorted. Please haul some potatoes real fast. New Dwarf Fortress description of arts and all that. Yep. Alright, so world. We're gonna form caravan. We're gonna go down here. Gonna go up there. Everyone's coming along. Everybody's coming along. On the food front, all the food, bring it. Items. Okay, components in this. The grav light panels. The grav core, and grab a bunch of all these benches and all that type stuff. Grab the plasteel. We won't be able to bring all the steel. We'll bring the stuff there. We'll bring the legendary and the masterwork bow. And the trifling of silver. We won't worry about the rest of the clothing there. And I guess bring what steel you can carry. The fact that human leather clothing has faces. Yeah, no, that's the amount of gravelite panels you normally get at the very beginning. Yep, grab it all as fast as you can. Load her up. We'll see all the gravelite panels there. Okay, so the only things left in here was some steel, some bows that we don't care about, and a bunch of wood, because we couldn't carry more. We grabbed everyone we could, because we have less than a day before all hell breaks loose here. Alright, and with that, we go to this tile, we say, why are you still... Oh, there it goes. I was like, why can I not abandon you? So abandon that tile, settle this tile. Alright, so now the priority is get the grav ship built and going as fast as we can. Which does mean I still need to research, because we're going to have to get the other stuff going. So we got an ancient danger over there. That's... Okay, its disappearance, like, what do you mean I'm about to be attacked here? Alright, grav ship. Get that sorted. In the meantime, go over here. Rice. And then we'll go miss caravanning spot, just put it there. So we'll start with that. We are going to need a lot of steel. Go mine it. Go mine. Go mine. Go mine. They're apparently all simultaneously going to go swimming. Okay. Who's set to handle? You, the injured one. How soon will you be good to handle? Very soon. 3 colonists are idle. Now they're not. Okay, that was weird. So for right now, I'm just trying my best. Get everything set up. Keep it moving. You'll need to shift it over onto the ship as able. Okay, so that'll give us those two rooms. We can go over here and go zones, dumping stockpile, low, allow all, but no human-like corpses or rotten. Transport pod crash for Shad, who is a high mate, who is delicate, nervous, psychopath, which is disabled because they're a high mate, kind, who can't do most work. Okay. I really do not want Shad to join us. We will help Shad. I would like Shad to leave when we're done helping them. Alright, so that's what's going to happen with the wood and all that. Alright, so what they will probably end up doing is getting rid of the alpaca. At least most of them. I might keep like one or two, but broadly speaking, we're going to want to like massively cut back on the alpaca. Just to make hauling the food around less of a chore. Alright. When Sentry Cookie gets up, they're going to start building. We need to not spend too much time on that, though. So prioritize putting that down. Because that's the actual priority, is to get the ship online. Okay. We'll start with that and get the minimum things we need there. Yeah, right now we're not going to worry about it. Right now we just need to get the ship online. That's going to be a combination of Cookie actually trying to get these rooms built up. And all that. Because we can start getting this built, what I'll do is I'll put the bedrooms and that on the ship. I guess for right now. Just so they don't complain about being left outside. You like the month names? Oh, are there like a conglomeration name? So December-y? It's like Jogust or whatever. Okay. We'll get the heal route going. All right. that will focus on the wool. Okay. They don't need to have them, like, go do ridiculous stuff out there. Didn't I? Oh, right, I've got all the raw potatoes, that's fine. Oh, the other thing we need to do is electricity. So we will have to plunk down the sword pit. Nope, 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 nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Let's see. So you've got a prosthetic heart. You're a delicate, nervous psychopath who is kind. You're incapable of plant, violent, caring, or artistic. So you can craft and research. I mean, I don't really... Well, the reason I'm hesitant on that is we already have a pacifist. And I do already have people who can do a lot of these jobs. I'm very much leaning towards just kicking them out, because this means they're going to have more mental breaks, and they're like delicate comes from being a high mate, that's fine. Nervous isn't great. The non-violent is from being a high mate, but like, yeah, this is too much disabled. So they're out of here. Nope. Mm-mm. Because the other thing is they'll psychically bond with one of my other characters, and then when they inevitably die, that character is going to be miserable for all eternity. It's going to be great. Do we have a real warden yet? We got some people that have some okay social. We don't have a proper one. I'm not too worried about that. I don't end up taking that many prisoners in the first place. Alright. 3 refugees that can help out. Let's go ahead and bring them on board. Okay, so construction and mining and growing stuff. Let's actually have you deprioritize that. Don't craft anything. I don't want you crafting stuff. Okay, so that should mean that they'll run around and do a lot of, like, mining and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so you got people beelining over to start mining. This is a double Ancient Danger map. Was there cheating in this game? I don't know what you mean by cheating. Like, I've not done anything to cheat? Okay. They're trying to get the grab ship building us thing. I think they meant cheat on one spout, and yes. Yeah, no, people can, like, have affairs and all that in the game. That is a mechanic in the game. And it's one that you, as the player, get little to no control over most of the time. Technically, you can deliberately cause it, but, like, that's certainly a choice you could make. Alright, so we want to get this built. We've almost got the chem fuel production going. Now, one of the weird caveats is we're not going to be able to have great power to begin with. So it might be a thing where what I end up needing to do is building the wood fire stove, like the wood fire thing, to power the chem fuel production, to start making the chem fuel, and getting that all off the ground. But so far, you've only seen them getting closer to other colonists and eventually divorcing, but no action per se. Oh, all that happens is when they get loving, if they have a bed that has 2 spots in it, little hearts just appear above their head. Like you don't get some like graphic thing of like the pawns, you know, getting down or whatever. Okay. All right. It really needs to get that chem fuel production done. All right, cool. So we've got the biofuel production stuff going. So now what I need to do is very, very quickly get that built on the ship so they can start making the biofuel. So there's the actual chem fuel there. Okay. Ancient danger, don't care, we're busy. All right. The next move, once I get that done, is we want to get more of this built out. We do need to have our people who can cut trees and all that, get that done. We'll need to deal with the alpaca in some capacity here. Alright. So manage. So right now they're set to 15. Say 14, and we'll slowly bring it down. We want to try and get that. We don't care about this. Major break risk on Gary. Why? Because of serious pain. Because your arm hurts. Okay, it's a nice little enclosed area for the absolute critical systems on the ship. So that'll be the generator. That'll be the chem fuel processing. Okay, we're building as fast as we possibly can. So we're gonna get a wood fire generator up here, and then the chem fuel production here. because that makes a functional ship at this point. And then we're gonna start, you know, putting like some type of bedrooms, break rooms, like whatever we can on the ship. I need them to go faster because I actually have to make the chem fuel. Tantrum, you're gonna break things in your room. That's fine. Okay. Please stop, Gary. Okay, so we can go here, production. Name the settlement name. Let's see. Flee to space. I don't know. So we've got the biofuel production to go here. I'll make it one more tile up there. Okay. Yeah, dry dock fill. That wouldn't have been a bad one. Okay, they're doing their best to get that all built as fast as they can. Like, obviously we'll want to bring a bunch of this research stuff over here and all that as well. Cool, so we do have the wood fire burner. Alright, bills. Make chem fuel from wood. Do until we have... $250. The ship's name will, because we can rename it, it'll be Desperate Escape for right now. We can rename it later. I'm just kind of in the autopilot, just like, go, 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 go. Things need to get done. Oh, a Lynx is attacked with our alpaca. Thanks for the crowd control, Lynx. I appreciate you, friend. We'll go to structure. Oh, one thing we're gonna need, production, stone cutting bench. We're gonna need to start cutting some stone for making like shelves and that kind of stuff. So I can put like the shelves here for the chem fuel and the wood. That's on me. Put the roof on there. Okay. So production, stone cutting bench. Cool, so we've got a little spot here for just producing the chem fuel. As soon as we get the stone cutting bench made where they can start making brick or whatever brick they make, we'll just make shelves out of that. So that means you're going to be this. Okay, and they'll go to try and plan to put, like, our production room back here, maybe. Cool, and same that we always do. Gonna enclose the engines so that, they don't just run up and steal them. Any stones, do until you have 400. Okay, because I really need someone getting the chem fuel production online. We do have the wood. Okay, someone is actually creating chem fuel. Because once we get a non-zero amount in here, we can at least leave the tile. Okay, and then this will be where we put all our production stuff in the back. Okay. Alright, so with this... reinstall our research benches. Reinstall our stove. There's stone cutter here. Okay. Got mad hares. How many? Just 3. Okay, done. Quest available, Royal Victory. Well, I can't do anything with that. 4 alpacas. Yep. Honestly, for right now, I'll put that there as well. We'll need to definitely make that room bigger in time. Then we can go to furniture. Put some lights in there and run power through this thing. Okay. Alright, so we've got at least some basic production on the ship. We do have power in here. We are slowly filling up our chem fuel, so in a pinch, we can make a run for it. Okay. So this is going to be our break room slash, like, rec room slash dining room over here. And we're certainly going to struggle with, like, storage and all that stuff. We're just building as fast as we can. Oh, Oh, I was... Yeah, no, that's fine. We still haven't made any actual block yet. That's okay. All that's gonna just take time. Alright. So with everyone on the map hunting us down, we now will have a grab ship. And so what we're going to want to do from there is at first we're just going to try and keep ourselves alive for a little while. Grow the colony a little bit, that kind of thing. Once we can get a little bit of that going, we're going to start campaigning against it. We're going to choose one of the enemy factions that we feel the most comfortable trying to take on. And we'll probably start attacking their colonies. And the reason we're going to do that is each time I defeat one of their locations, I believe everyone who's their enemy will like us more. So if we start wiping out one of the factions that's like angry with everybody, that'll be good. It'll let us slowly win people over. Okay. Let's see, that would have been a spicy run mod to make settlements actually dangerous. Yeah, alright. So we've effectively got our break room sorted for the moment. Alright. So what we're going to want to do here is we'll start going into that. Break rooms where you go to have your breakdowns? Yes, you know what's up. Ideology, we can put this here. Days due to awful barracks. Look, man, I am working on it. You tried to attack a pirate settlement, they immediately blasted you with a solid gold mortar. Yup. That's the reason I was like, gotta do a little prep first. Okay, how much longer till you're out of here? 9 days. Okay, so we should be in pretty good shape there. All right. Do we have someone who's primarily going to do crafting? We'll take you down a peg, so you can work on the crafting more. All right. Okay. We have the Mad Lynx here. I don't love that. Okay. Seems like for a base colony, the shuttle is extremely useful. When do other traders restock? I know it's a periodic thing. I don't remember like what the time frames are on it though, because it's usually not a thing I super worry about. Alright. So yes, unfortunately I can't really give you a good answer, because I just don't know. There's a lot of stuff like that for like a lot of your normal playthroughs just doesn't kind of come up. Alright. And furniture. To be attacked from multiple angles. So we got 2 dudes with melee. And 1 dude with melee. Let's go ahead and we're going to run on over here into the open. Because that's nice and all enclosed, so I can't just go and jack the engines off of it. Leafy Pew. This is not the time, and I am not doing this fight right. I do appreciate that Leafy Pew was like, I'm gonna go on an insulting spree. Ah, Raider! And ran away. Hey, Molly, how's it going? Let me go ahead and get you a shout-out. For those who don't know, Molly Berry, an absolutely fantastic content creator. I've been playing a lot of Project Zomboid recently. Definitely someone to check out. Is part of the 0% Gen AI stream team and stuff. You has left and you are still alive. It happens. I do usually stream for about 9 hours a night. So we knocked a lot of you. Do you want to stay? So, Underground or Joe, Slowpoke, Delicate? No. No, well, actually, hold up. We do want them. Because what we're going to do here is we're going to do this. We're going to go plunk, 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 plunk. That's technically a prison now. Alright, so grab you. And grab you. Meanwhile, Will, go ahead and get yourself an upgrade for your little knife. So you took a pretty nasty Equa hit. Leafy P, you can stop being upset about scary things. Yeah, Molly also does like sing songs and stuff. And we're going to take these ones and we're just going to release them after we've got them all patched up. And the reason for that is we are doing the Ruthless Pursuit, or Ruthless Faction Pursuit. So everyone hates us, and everyone who hates us will actively hunt us down, that they will just keep showing up very rapidly, that we get bullied off the tile. So not your normal raids, it will literally like infinitely escalate until you can't handle it. So very similar to the Mech Pursuit if you're familiar with the Odyssey DLC scenario. So low, clear, human-like, that is now home zone. Medical emergency on one of the people we just rescued. Yeah, as soon as they're good to go, we walk them off the tile. And then with that, we'll get 12 standings each one. So then Will here is got a big stab wound in them, and everybody has decided that, you know what, maybe we treat them later. Maybe the stab wound is not that serious. It was just an equa to the leg. It's probably fine. Disease infection on one of the prisoners. Do your best. I guess for right now, I'll just make that a barracks. I want to give them their own rooms, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay. So we do have a full fuel tank for when we have to leave, so that's good news. We don't have any food stored or anything yet. So the good news is we patched up Parrot here, enough that they're leaving the tile. So they were the one who rolled infection. But that's not our problem. We grabbed some really crap medicine, we shoved it on there, went good to go, and told him to get the heck out. And then we're gonna party about it. Leafy Pew said this deserves a party. We're heroes. We actually shot that one's leg off. Okay. We could try and get that sorted out. So we'll see. It might be after this. I might be able to get a little bit of a storage room back here. We're doing our best with things. Right now I need someone to actually have the time and capacity to craft. So right now our people who can craft is Hypno, who is growing things, and Sentient Cookie, who is busy doing their stuff. We can also get Will, once they're not injured, to work on that as well. Honestly, with that, we can have Leafy Pew focus on that for right now. Yeah, so Leafy Pew is now going to focus on being the grower. And then we can have Hypno take over being the crafter. He bought the snake oil treatment. Let's party like he paid us. Yep. Grower, you're more of a shower. Excuse me. Yeah, we're definitely going to want to not be reliant on the chem fuel generator or the wood generator for long term. It's fine for now. Okay, so we got our first bricks getting cut. And those are marble. So I've got marble, I've got slate. Okay, so let's go furniture. Marble shelf, we're going to shove it right there. And that'll be for wood and chem fuel only. We're going to deconstruct these beds. I could have just moved them over. I was kind of hoping we'd get better results, but that's okay. Alright. And then the plan for here Hey, Salberry! Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had yourself a good stream and all that good stuff. If we get a shout out for Salberry, I'd much appreciate it. But how's it going? All that good stuff. Here, I can, oh, there we go. Thank you. Doing some just chatting. So what all were you up to? If you got a raid run, like, don't let me keep you, but obviously you're welcome to stay. But, what all were you up to today and what we get on? For those who don't know, Salberry, absolutely fantastic content creator. Plays a whole lot of fun stuff. Does, like, survival crafters, and a whole range of other games. A lot of, like, kind of silly fun chaos over there. Someone I definitely recommend checking out. Definitely one of the channels I end up to quite a bit after my own stream when I can catch them. Playing some Grain Rot, but it crashed, which is a good time to stop playing because it was making me mad. Yeah, we started the Project Zomboid today and actually lost a pretty decent run to a crash. I was nearly at the bottom of the secret military base. And we got all the way to the bottom floor, and we have been clearing it for a good while. And then we had a crash. So it was in the stairwell going up and down, and like 100-something zombies I'd killed above me got reset back into the world, and they still had a bunch below me. So I tried to make a break for it, but it was like literally trying to force your way through 100 zombies in like tight corners, and that didn't work out. Which is a bummer, but it do happen. It'll be a while before I play it again. Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I don't think I came across as upset. I've played a lot of Project Zomboid over the years. Let's see. Yep. So very genuinely, like, it actually doesn't bother me that much. But yeah. It's still one of those ones that's like, okay, it was only like an hour and a half before, or an hour and a half, 2 hours before they normally wrap up streams. Like, we'll just jump into our existing colony in RimWorld. Like, not bother with a fresh save right that second. Okay, so that shelf needs to be cleared. You are for chem fuel. And wood. And you'll be set to critical. Cool, and we got both those people out of here, so we can go ahead and delete those spots. Let's see, the progress just wasn't satisfying in Grain Rot. Just got hard for no reason and annoying. Yeah, that can always be not fun. Progress at first is great in Grain Rot, but then it slams you with Slog. Yeah, I've known the type. Is it a survival crafter? I actually don't know the game. Because I know there's been a handful of survival crafters that they look promising, and then you get in there and you're like, oh, this is really tedious. Oh, it's a friend slop game. Gotcha. Let's see, also went down a player. Kind of like lethal. Gotcha. Alright. Or repo? Okay. Makes sense. So I'm just shoving shelves in here everywhere. I got 99 tiles. For those who missed what we got going on, so again, check out Sal. And again, thank you so much for that raid. For those who don't know me, I'm Rual Storge, play variety games here on Twitch. I'm most known for my exploits in Project Zomboid, where I used to hold a world record for the highest kill count run ever streamed. You'll notice the past tense on that, though. But I do play a variety of games, including a huge range of like simulation settlement builders, city builders, survival crafters, automation, and all that kind of good stuff. Right now what we're doing is we are using a mod called Ruthless Faction Pursuit mod. And basically the way this mod works is... Sorry, just trying to deal with storage stuff. Basically the way this mod works is any faction that I am an enemy of, if you've ever done the Odyssey scenario, where like you land your ship and the mechs just chase you everywhere, it's that. But everybody. So everyone who is hostile with me will come after me. Which is everybody. Okay, well, my alpaca are currently starving to death. Which feels a little not great, man. So we're gonna let them free from there. But to escape, you have to get money for the elevator, and then you also have to scrap. You have to get scrap to upgrade your base. At first is good, but weapons have durability, which is crap. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yup. Alright, so copy the settings for this for right now. So we have this. But to that end, we managed to very quickly get our grab ship. I'm also using random research, so I don't actually control my research. It's basically like we went ahead and we took the keys and we tossed them over to Randy. And Randy said something about swimming in pennies. I don't really understand it, but, you know, that's fine. Alright, we go to here. We're going to link those, storage, clear, medicine, and body parts. Because then what will happen is we can have all of this for medical. And then long term we'll be able to make like this into a nice room. So I've got 67 more tiles. We can actually go... I can actually get enough bedroom, like enough for everyone to have a bedroom. I didn't think it was going to have the space for it. Fire foam, that's fine. We'll also get cocoa trees. With us being chased, cocoa trees is kind of a dead research in that we won't be on a tile long enough for it to have. Alright. So with that in mind, we're going to switch to double beds. Because we do have people greedy for fancy bedrooms. So, that'll help there. Alright. And we're going to barely have any tiles. So our storage on the ship is going to be pretty much just find a shelf, chuck stuff on it. Let's see what we can get away with. And I also have room for some shelves here. Yeah, the early game grab ship where you just ram shelves anywhere and everywhere you can. It's just what you gotta do. That can't be your sheep. We can see the floor. We'll get there. How long until the refugees leave? 5 days. They've been really helping. We've been having the refugees help build our ship. No problem, Bracken. You get that sleep and all that stuff. And these ones won't be nearly as small of rooms as we did in our last colony. Okay. Cool. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, you're good. Yep, no, I gotcha. Tired brain. I have very much been there earlier. Okay, so we have 37 tiles left, so that's 21. That would put us up to 29. Let's see, 29. 37. So it should be perfect. Let them get that down, see where it's at. Because it'll be 36 there, so I should have 1 tile to spare. We'll deal with that in a minute. Honestly, we're just gonna let them put anything they want on these tiles in the bedroom for right now, and we can clean it up on the other side for a minute. But the plan is to make that like a storage room back there. And we've got our wood generator back here, which the only thing running our wood generator right now is our chem fuel production. We'll probably want to trade that out for a chem fuel production generator or some other form of power in the long run. Yeah, so you got one tile to spare. I got 2 tiles to spare. It's been a pretty good stream. I'll put the 2 tiles right there. Alright. Yeah, so we got a distress signal. Yeah, so you can see how many colonies I've had to found and get rid of. Every one of those white dots is a colony we set up, and then we had to abandon when enemies rolled in to kick us out. Alright, Bracken, you have a good night and all that stuff. Thank you again for popping in, following that raid over, and all that good stuff. It is appreciated. So go here. You've got those 2 tiles. We are out of tiles. So what we can do here is I will put a door... No, I won't. Okay, so you've got tons and tons of marble still. So as you can see, that's just going to be a storage room in the back. And the reason I'm putting lights all over the ship is there's anomaly stuff, and while we haven't gone to turn on the monolith or anything like that, I probably will at some point. But it'll kind of be important to make sure, as best we can, we got everything sorted out with that. You can deconstruct this. If you put one on the side and put the horseshoe games on it, you can have it ready to go every time you land. Yeah, I have the horseshoe game. It's inside. It's right here. Actually make this a little bit better by... Okay, we have the incoming mechanoids in 18 days, so that's basically irrelevant. We should start seeing all the factions rolling in, because it rolls to see how long that's going to take them. Alright, we got 6 days on the Union, and that's going to be like really spammy until we start making friends. We did manage to get the Empire to neutral. We are working on some of the other factions and getting them to like us. Ambrosia Sprout. So we'll have to leave in 6 days, that's fine. You kept your outside to give them more playtime until you had a temple. Yeah, what I'll probably do is when we start getting like the bigger engine area, I'll probably put like the telescope in that here, but with a gap so that the engines don't block it. Alright, we got 15 days and that faction is before they attack. Okay, so we got all that built. That's good news. And they're loading up everything. Like everything that's bolted down. We're grabbing. So start harvesting all that. Probably skip on the sowing more rice. It's not gonna have time to grow. So we're gonna have them grab all the heal root they can, so we got some medicine on the ship. 5 days in that one. That's a bummer. That shortens how long you can stay here by a full day. Because what'll happen is when that timer goes out, all hell breaks loose. You cannot hold. Like, it will 100% just overwhelm you. Because they keep coming every in-game hour. And we did a test earlier, and with 3 colonists, extremely low wealth, the first wave was like 20-something enemies, and then the second wave came to a total of about 80 enemies, and that was with assault rifles and everything. So it was very like, oh yeah, we are not fighting that. Do they fight each other? These factions, if they're hostile towards each other, will fight each other. You could sit back and just let them do it. But realistically, all it's going to happen is just going to make, like, a huge mess. And it's going to lag your computer out. And blow up the wealth on a tile that you're not at anymore. Like, maybe you might be able to hunker down in a really small base they can't drop pod in. And then just let the violence ensue outside. But it would just keep escalating until your computer crashed. Four days. How long do they leave? Okay, so the refugees leave in 2 days. So they're going to get out of here right before all hell breaks loose. Days. Hi.
Who's my little boy?
Wow. I'm not little.
You are just so small. Look how small. Look how small he is. He's so small.
I love you.
I love you.
And thank you for the Gigantify, Leafy. I appreciate it. Alright, so we got 3 days and 3 days, so we're just shortening down our time frame. We're getting the last of the stuff loaded up on the ship. We got cocoa. Okay, this is good. We're researching pemmican, so at least in the future we can get the pemmican going on. Normally I don't have them store the bricks on here. I'm kind of going by everything there. Because now with everything going on... You didn't move that over. We need that there. So we're going to change you over to Gary. Manhunter pack of crows. That's so delayed. Oh no, it's a murder. It's a whole murder of crows. Okay. Leafy, let's go ahead and just have you stay inside, friend. Little worried if you're out and about, there's going to be much death in your future. By a billion teeny tiny little nicks. That's an actual murder of crows with blood in their eyes. Yep. So we've left the door open. Here comes murder. I've seen this movie. Yeah, to give you an idea with that, that's like they're all minor injuries, and this can actually be very dangerous when you're playing RimWorld. Getting where you have like just a ton of little nicks and cuts is honestly... Oh, wait. Will. I missed one. Okay, we've saved Leafy. One of them was dastardly and waited behind, so we thought we had all to clear. And then it gave Leafy Pew a scratch to the leg. We'll have to amputate that, I'm sure. Okay. That's fine. They'll be leaving... They leave in 1.2 days, and then we got an attack in 2 days. There's the incoming disfigurement. Nope, fully recovered. No disfigurement yet. You'll get there, don't worry. Yeah, so you're running around grabbing all the medicine. Oh, there's no way. Nobody. There you go. Also, animals. Sorry. They're not coming with us. Yeah, so getting the rotting crows out of our ship. That's why it's alive, like. The shame of Bud. An 11-year-old named Bud from nearby. She is begging you at flee to space. There's a threat following her and she's unwilling to talk about it. Sure. They're a small child. We will rescue them. Also, small child, I don't actually have a room for you, so you get to sleep by the engines. In the back of the ship. So, Bud, what are you bringing to the table? You are a careful shooter, which is actually not a good trait, but it's not bad. Their ideology is garbage. They want to raid. So that's not really helpful. But that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and go to your schedule, and it's going to be full recreation. Hey there, little Bud. Yep, so we're going to go ahead and have this. If you would like to be the brand new child into our colony, that certainly will live a long, healthy life and not befall tragedy of any kind. For the record, I'm not going to deliberately do anything wrong to them. But, alright. Yep, you'll just do exclamation mark join. Yeah, so right now, so you have a passion in cooking. Alright, Bud. You're our cook. It's gonna be a rough couple of years here, as there's gonna be food poisoning aplenty. But we'll get you there, man. Someday, we could pretend you are a competent cook. Not today. Also, I'm gonna give you a legendary bow thing there. Alright, so you age up very soon from the looks of it. Yeah, so you age up, it was what, 13? Yeah, so you're aging up at 13. You are right about to be 12. So, not the highest hopes you're going to have a lot of time for education at this rate. Yeah. Trigger happy is better because more shots means you're overall going to have better luck of actually getting stuff done. Careful shooter has its place, but it's more like if you're trying to sit from way back and pop off one sniper shot to blow up a unstable power core or something like that. Usually you really want to rather have just more shooty goodness. And the distress signal, the refugees will leave in 13 hours, which will be good. And Bud's trying their best to do education by staring up at the sky. Let's see, why would make one good sniper shot? You could do two. Well, that's the thing. The vast majority of the time, trigger happy is going to be better. Faster hand is better than slower hand. That's what she said. Just be careful if you draw your name. The threat might end up being 50 foxes again. Yup. So we're running out of time, but we are loading everything else up on the ship. And we're filling our entire ship up with lots of alpaca meat that we will not have time to cook. And I don't quite have pemmican yet. So it's just gonna rot there. But we'll have gotten a lot of, like, I think it's camel hide that you get from butchering alpaca. Okay. Careful shot. Shooter works well with sniper rifles and, like, 2 lines of bodyguards. Yeah. I have a tendency to chase unique weapons these days just because it makes it interesting and it kind of causes me to do a whole range of weapons versus you'll fall into the habit of, like, keep getting the same kind of weapons. Like, with the unique weapons, I find more and more runs I end up getting the heavy SMGs because I get a lot of really cool, unique, heavy SMGs, and once you start getting them with, like, extra shots on the burst, faster fire rates, extra damage, armor piercing, stuff like that, they can be pretty menacing. Like, heavy SMGs can do some work. Especially when you're stuck getting in a little bit closer. Alright, so we got just over a day. So, they're leaving in 3 hours. And then once they're out of here and we get credit for the quest, we'll probably want to just jump out to the next place. Because I'm pretty sure these alpaca are going to rot soon. Oh, they still have... Oh, it's very cold outside. Never mind. You want to get unique weapons, but you never seem to be able to get to them before they expire. You basically kind of need the grav ship and just be willing to jump, land, and then jump again, which is why you need, like, a decent amount of food storage on your ship. And then you just kind of, like, every once in a while you land and then just restock and then go on to the next thing. Alright, the refugees are leaving. Let's get them out of here so we get credit, because those are blinking red, and that's probably good. It's usually a good sign when stuff is blinking red at you. That means you're definitely doing something right. Alright, and with that, all hell's about to break loose. Let's go ahead and hit the launch button and get out of here. We already took everything out of the existing storage. The only thing we missed on a couple of alpacas. Alright. Is there anything cool nearby that we want to grab? I don't have enough fuel capacity to do anything really cool. So you go after the mechanator thing. I don't care about that. There's the distress signal. You know what? The distress signal is as good as anything else. Let's go to the distress signal. Good taking to bed for the kid. This is true. I was thinking more of the timer's ticking down. It's about to get real ugly here. Grab ship is like 5 times fast and then stay in a tile for a year. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna have a bunch of enemies here. So let's go ahead and we'll just... Honestly, there's corn there. Good enough a place to land. He hasn't earned the bed yet. Yep. Okay. So let's grab everyone. Got a couple of enemies, so it looks like two of the big ones here. Let's deal with the ones we know of. There's a very good chance we'll trigger an ambush when we go in the middle here somewhere. So that is a steel spear. That's going to be better than your Equa. Okay, and get you over there as well. All right. Okay, and we'll draw the child's name. All right, so the kid in our colony is going to be FFX Man. And go ahead and get that out of there. We get attacked by a large raiders every hour in the scenario mod. Does that mean we typically have no tile for more than an hour? Oh, no. So what ends up happening, Infinity, is we land on the tile. And there's something like 15 to 30 days, somewhere in that time frame, that we get to be on the tile unharassed from like the big thing. Like the regular raids and all that'll happen. But like where you have like the whole assault thing. And then like once the assault thing triggers where they show up, it'll say like, okay, you've got 2 days or 20 days or whatever. And then once you go there, then it's like every 12 hours a raid will happen. So it basically, if you stay to that full end, everything escalates very rapidly. But up until then, you actually get a decent amount of time on a tile before you gotta run. Let's take a quick peek in these real fast. And you were upset. I'm glad we dug through there. 500 money and a bunch of plasteel. Alright, you go home. There's so much of it here. This can drop really good stuff. Just a shard this time. Yeah, so there can be more of those. It's just a thing that we have to tell them to attack it. I kind of wish you could queue it up, like, to be mined almost. Not because I want the resources, but being like, hey, when you got some time, start clearing this up. I've honestly never found much in the way of like chairs in here that are A quality. The vast majority of times when I find them, it's always like just normal. Like not good, not bad, just normal. Deconstruct those since they're not going to be staying valid. Yeah, you get out of here so you can heal up. One thing we're hoping to find is in here. You saw that node there. Okay, we've already got someone working on that. But yeah, so you can have more of those in there, and that's like where the best goodies come out of. In this case, it just gave us a shard, which, you know, fine, whatever. Alright. So meanwhile, we can go here. We won't worry about that too much. Data plant heal root, fully expecting to not get there. Heavy plant cotton, fully expecting to not get there. And plant some dye, which you probably will get there. We can get all that working. And then one of the things I'll usually do is whenever we land a tile, just near the ship, big area, low priority, allow all except rotten and human-like, so that anything that doesn't fit in the ship gets chucked on the ground and I can kind of watch, and if I see stuff I care about getting chucked on the ground, then I know I need to kind of intervene. Put a fire in there. So we use it to burn old clothes and all that. And you're mad because no conquest recently, you're ravenously hungry, which is kind of a self-inflicted problem. There's a lot of food. Okay, there's a bed. Let's see. We're not gonna get a lot of use out of this desk, but we will build it. Well, actually, we got stone on board. We'll make it a slate desk. Okay, so we got pemmican on the list. Let's go here. Pemmican forever. Most of our alpaca meat is just going to rot, but we do have it there. And orders. Okay. It'd honestly be in our best interest. So Will here is primarily doing what? So Will is our researcher. It'd be potentially worth destroying a bunch of these looking for the nodes. But honestly, I don't feel like it. Didn't really get much. We got a shard. Okay, so you would like 31 herbal medicines. You monster. You are incredibly selfish with all that. Pretty sure that's like all my medicine. And thank you, Wisp, for the 100 stream streak. I do appreciate that. It means a lot. Does destroying them give combat XP? Oh, destroying this doesn't give combat XP. If I killed those people who showed up, I would actually get combat XP, but not really something I need. Okay. Yeah, so running around just trying to see if we can find any of the loot pinata node things. Because they could be hidden in here sometimes. I don't go to very many distress signals anymore. Because like sometimes you get lucky and you'll hit a node, they'll just be like tons of really good weapons and all that just chilling here because of the type of faction that was attacked. All right. And if we don't find one, I won't bother checking the rest of these from now on. Okay. So I cleared out all those ones over there. Not looking very encouraging. Yeah, like sometimes when you find those nodes, it'll be like Archotech leg, Archotech eye, Zeus hammers, like all sorts of ridiculous nonsense. Okay, bills add burn apparel, do forever if it is not clean. Add burn apparel, do forever details if it is not utility or armor and it is below 90%, like not on someone. So I can start taking stuff like this poor quality shirt and all that, and we'll burn those and get them out of here. So you've got a raid coming from 2 different angles. We got 2 people with knives and a gun. And a fully ranged out group. You're a terrible shot, but you are trigger happy. Are you already moving down towards me? Hold up. You're out of here? Come on, it's 13 shooting, better weapons. Okay, and you took one hit there. You're going back to the ship. Are either of you, like, particularly scary? You're not something to ignore. So get ourselves patched up real fast. That's not what I want you doing, man. Okay. You start tending to that. Okay, you both start tending. Cool. And it'd be good if we can pick these two up. Alright, we're not going to be able to wait, unfortunately. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a messy one. For whatever reason, you stop moving, and I can get on board with that. So we got a shotgun. I really have no idea what Octave's doing, but I can definitely get on board with it. So Will here is going to run at Gumpy. Get in there. Oh, Will, buddy, you went the long way around. Move, move, move. Sentry Cookie, please move. Okay, so you start punching this one. Come on, I hate it when they do that. No, 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 no. Run, run, run. I've gotten people who have lost so many limbs from that, where you get on melee, they step away, and then they drop the grenade at their ankles and down you. I've had that happen so very many times. Okay. So, Sentient Cookie captured that one. Leafy is already taking care of you. Are you hurt bad? Nope. You capture that one. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Alright, well. So, if you didn't catch there, Will did lose their arm because a grenade blew up right in their face. And the reason why it's dangerous with melee is you go up and you hit and you get slowed, even if you're the one initiating the hit. So it's just one of those things that very easily you can get yourself caught. Did you, like, get treated or whatever? So you are lazy, bloodlust, whatever. We will be releasing you as soon as you're done being patched up. Oh, the other one died before anything happened? That's fine. Yeah, so you got your arm torn off, so that's a big one. Oh, you stopped it's fine. Well, never mind. We just won't bother with either of them. Also, please go to bed. You're still wounded. You can't take arms off of other people. You can get prosthetics and all that, but you can't, like, amputate someone's arm and then use it. There's only a few organs you can do that stuff, like lungs and kidneys and that. Stone. Go here, do this. Low, clear. And human-like, and not a home zone. Honestly, at this stage, don't home zone these automatically. Okay, get the lights back on. So I'm definitely going to need another fuel tank in here. Bud admitted that she was fleeing from. She was traveling when, basically it's a sunblocker. That we do have... Oh. Well, the sunblocker appeared back where we were. So it's not actually affecting us. So I guess that's fine. Now, you're still going to run around and do what you were doing, but we are going to need to get you an arm somehow. But I've gotten myself in trouble with that exact same thing with grenades many times. Because you want someone to get the melee on the grenades to shut them down, because then they're not throwing the grenades at you, they're just getting slapped in melee. But you just get unlucky. That's a better spear than you've got. Because if you stun them, you just sit there and keep hitting them, and they're going to get to defend themselves. Not really. But if they time it where they drop the grenade just as you hit them kind of thing, you kind of stun yourself into the grenade. Alright. I see you, crows, with your desire for human flesh. So getting advanced lights, it won't be super important for us yet. We're trying to get FFX Man as much growth tiers as possible, because every growth tier we go up gives us better chances of getting something good. So if you do nothing, it gives you 2 options and you get to pick one, and that's it. So if they're both bad, that you get something bad. So the first growth tier after that gives you 3 options, giving you, you know, a 50% better chance of getting something not bad. And I think it goes up to like 4 options as possible. Then you'll start getting passions and all that. Now, keeping in mind, I've only got like a season. Cool, thanks, game. Get out there and start cutting it before it kills everything. Advanced light nutrient paste. Alright, that should buy us some time, so it's at least not killing the potatoes. Alright. Cool, so when they get up, they should get that sorted out. It'll wait until we get our next grav core to actually be able to build the proper room, because then we put a grav field extender up here somewhere to expand the bedroom some. How are our mood stuff? You're still greedy for an impressive bedroom. You're only at mediocre. We do have luxurious and comfort, a slightly impressive rec and dining room. If we do start getting, you know, nicer materials, we'll start putting like nice floors in here to boost the aesthetics and all that. Okay. Alright, so with that, we're right about to hit the first growth tier and all that. Did you actually get that? Okay, you can go back to planting those again. And we do have a mod that allows them to dye their own clothes their favorite color. It gets you 1 mood bonus. I mostly like it because otherwise, whatever your fabric source is, everyone's clothes will look pretty much the same. So getting the dye is just kind of a nice way of adding an aesthetic to everything. Okay. Go swimming, you're gonna eat something, and we're gonna have you start poking more of these to see if you get anything. Okay. Yep, so we've got 1 spot up here, 1 there, and 1 down there. Yep, so it's looking like I shouldn't bother trying to clean all this crap up. We've kind of gone through all of this, breaking all the goop up in hopes of finding the goodies. And not finding a single other opportunity. But we'll do our diligence on this one. And then after this one, nevermore. Just 2 healing mech serums. Okay, thanks, refugees. Hey, Will, do you want your arm back? It's a little bit of a waste, but considering how long it's going to be before I can do anything, let's just do this. This is definitely a waste of a healing mech serum. But guess what? We're not missing an arm anymore. Like I said, that was definitely a waste of a healing mech serum. There's a very good chance we would end up having... you're gonna hunt us. We would just end up having... someone tantrum and destroy it long before anyone could actually get at it. Nicely done. Did you brain it? Yes, you did. Nerve spiker, I guess? Yep. But yeah, no, it's definitely a waste, but realistically, a good tantrum. We kept 1, that way if someone gets, like, organ decay or bad back or whatever, we still got a thing, we could deal with it. But considering how long it's going to be before we can get, like, prosthetics and bionics, and we won't be able to trade for almost ever, just figured cash in when we can. Alright, stop cleaning all that dirt. Okay. Oh, one thing we should do is ore. Nope. Plasteel. Nope. We got steel up here. Components. That's fine. But they get a larger return on investment from the arm overall that time? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like, okay, the mech healing serum is, again, it's a really good item. They're pretty rare, so I was actually pretty surprised. If people didn't see how I got that, because we helped Gary, those 3 people on the last tile, those refugees, they gave us 2 healing mech serum. It is worth helping the refugees. A lot of times they'll send you crap you don't care about, but I've gotten like Masterwork Cataphract armor, Persona Zeus hammers with like the run faster thing on it. You know, I've got some pretty sick stuff from it. Usually it's not that amazing, but every once in a while you get a winner. All right. Alright, so we got marble blocks happening, so we're going to start going floors. What is our ideology's aesthetic even? It is totemetic. I'm going to start by putting a couple of stripes of the marble floors that are nice in here. Actually, cancel that. Nutrient paste, so we got heavy floors. So who is our greedy people? Will is one of our greedy people. Okay. So start in here. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get Will's room to be nicer. Yep. Yeah, your character, your pawn is greedy, and then Leafy's pawn is greedy. We need to get your room to be nice enough for your character to be like, wham, my room's not impressive. You only have to get up to somewhat impressive. Which right now it's decent. Which is, I believe, the first step ahead before somewhat impressive. So we're putting down a little bit of marble flooring that's nice marble flooring. And we'll just see if we can't get across that finish line. I got apparently synth thread at some point. I don't know when that happened. Okay. If people have nothing better to do, start hunting. Alright, cargo pods. Mastodon wool. Alright, you're psychopaths. So you're like, the youngsters are happy. I don't care. Sentient Cookie has a lot to go. Yeah, so everyone's actually doing pretty well with their ideology. Despite us having multiple proletizers, there's going to be a point we're going to have to, like, arrest someone and do something to, like, get that going. Once we get one of the people as a moral guide, it'll be good stuff, but... Alright. Okay. Guess we're getting all that done. We'll probably want to end up doing art as well. I don't know where we're going to put the bench, though. Like, right now, our ship can't grow any until we get some more stuff going on. So link those. Inspired creativity. Okay, so we do have a ritual we can do here. It is a fiesta that will be very low. Okay. So we actually have a 2% chance of having a positive result over a negative result. So there's a 2% chance higher that we have a positive result. We're not gonna worry about hosting someone. I don't have room for him. We've already got FFX sleeping between the engines and the fuel tank. And it was boring. But we still got development points, so that's fine. Okay. Do not allow tainted. And do not allow tainted. Okay, and we'll add marble. Do until you have 200. Can you host someone in a building outside the ship? Or will they stay too long? I could. They'll be staying for 8 days. I mean, that's 15 glitter world. They have to keep their mood above 30, though. And the problem is almost all these rooms are destroyed, and all of this is going to give us disgusting environment. Like, it's certainly doable. Must keep their mood above 30. I don't feel like... Okay, so this room is now Lizgal's room. And then we're going to tell Lizgal, your full schedule is here, and you do not leave the home zone. Because you don't want them going where all this gross is, they'll get hideous environment penalty. So we want to avoid that as much as we can. Okay, so that only got us up to decent. So finish it. Because we get all the floorings to be really nice in there, so we can hopefully get that up to somewhat impressive. Alright, so our potatoes are starting to rot away in storage. That's a bit concerning. I thought we had way more time than that. Guess not. That's fine. We got a bunch of rice in there as well. Psychic Soothe is ending. So how are you doing? So you're maintaining pretty high, and then you have Word Trust, which is for recruiting prisoners, which is pretty sick. But probably not going to be a thing we worry about. Let's also go in here and misc meditation spot, party spot, marriage spot. Shove it all in there. Alright, so it's probably not gonna be too much longer until we get like the warning being like, oh no, they're chasing us. Okay. Yeah, then we'll go in. We're trying to get a bunch of our, like, our break room, get it nice floors, the bedrooms. Alright, so Mad Badger. And there you go. Badger handled. But yeah, as you can see, with them being able to dye their own clothes, they're all starting to get their own colors, which is actually kind of nice that they all seem to have different favorite colors. A lot of times when we do that, it'll be like 3 of them will dye their clothes like gray, and it'll be like, really? Or have like 2 of them will be like beige, and you're like, come on, man, have a little bit more excitement. It's fine to have, you know, someone with like gray or beige or slate or whatever. When you're looking at your whole colony and like half of them are neutral colors, you're like, come on, have some fun. Slightly impressive. Okay, so just tossing down the totem floors is enough to get us to that point. They're going from heavy bridges to IDEs. Alright. So we're doing good and getting this all sorted out. So yeah, it's probably good that we went ahead and grabbed this person, because we get the 15 glitter world, that'll go a long way. Go ahead and get our ship part. But with that said though, chat, I've already gone probably quite a bit more than I should have tonight. Usually wrap up about an hour ago. But with like the kind of late game, like late stream game switch because of the Project Zomboid death, wanted to actually make sure I got a little bit of time in here. There's a very good chance I'll probably be back on stream tomorrow. Technically Thursdays and Fridays are my days off, but I do tend to stream them anyways if I don't have any other plans. I don't know if we'll be doing more Project Zomboid tomorrow, more RimWorld, or popping onto one of like the, you know, dozens of games that have all dropped their emails in the last 24 hours being like, hey, our update's coming. I do know pretty soon we're going to be doing Planet Coaster 2, because Planet Coaster 2 has their Silver Screen DLC coming up. So if you ever wanted to make like a Hollywood studio style theme park or whatever, that'll be available at that point. There's also a free update going with it that adds like queue times and all that to the, like where you can put like the signs in front of your rides and all that. So that'll be a lot of fun. So with that said, if you have enjoyed tonight's content, you're not already following the channel, don't forget to drop a follow. That way you can find a way back here in the future. You know, that's just how this whole thing works. And if you're watching over on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. But, you know, stream's going to end over there because I don't have a host ready, but thank you so much for tuning in. And for everyone over here on Twitch, I'm going to go ahead and put up my ending stream screen and see who we can find to drop a raid on. We should have plenty of options.